Good afternoon, everyone. It's 5 o'clock Central Time, so we're going to get started this afternoon. So good afternoon. My name is Dr. Alicia Bour, and I am the Chief Student Affairs Officer at Loyola University New Orleans. Welcome to the Student Affairs Zoom panel session for parents and families of returning students. My team and I are happy to be with you today, and we hope that you and your loved ones are staying healthy and safe. Before we get started with the panel, I'd like to outline a few Zoom rules. Out of respect for the panelists and the desire to share as much information as possible, all participants except the panelists will be muted. Participants will be able to ask questions via the Q&A function. The chat function has been disabled so that we can focus on Q&A. Panelists will answer as many questions as possible in the time allotted. As a follow-up, participants will receive an email with a link to the recording and the name and contact information for each panelist if there are further questions. The recording will also be housed on the Student Affairs website. Thank you so much for your cooperation. Before we get started, I want to briefly share a few points to set the foundation for our panel and our time together this afternoon. My colleagues and I have been working tirelessly over the past few months to ensure we have systems and operations in place to open safely. We are meeting regularly with our healthcare partners and other universities near us. We are planning on staggered move-ins starting Monday, August 17th, and classes starting on August 24th. We are not conducting baseline or surveillance testing for a host of reasons, and instead heavily leaning into health education, including a required online course, ample signage, social media messaging, enhanced cleaning and disinfection across campus, a daily symptom assessment via the Campus Clear app, and responding via internal processes to close contact or COVID positive cases. We have several rooms set aside for COVID positive cases and for those awaiting testing in our residence halls. For students who will be in quarantine and isolation, both on and off campus, we will do our best to provide support. However, I encourage you to have conversations with your student or students about the reality of such situations. As a licensed psychologist with expertise in college mental health, I am acutely aware of the toll that being alone in quarantine for 14 days can initiate or exacerbate. Additionally, the comfort that this type of scenario provides in terms of quality of life is limited. Not to mention that there is always the potential for a hurricane, which could lead to evacuation or shelter in place. So please take these conversations with your family seriously as you continue to discern being on campus, living near campus, or being 100% virtual this fall. For our panel this afternoon, each departmental representative will share a few minutes worth of information regarding their area, and then we'll have time to engage in question and answer. First, I'd like to introduce Amy Boyle, our Director of Residential Life.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Amy Boyle, and a lot of you at this point I've probably spoken to, or you've coordinated or consulted with my staff in the last several weeks. I also make a lot of appearances on the parents' Facebook page, and so have gotten to engage with a lot of you that way as well. And so in my role in residential life, what we do is work really hard to help your student learn what it means to live in community. It's very different than living at home in your small family community or even sharing bedrooms with siblings. And so our role is really just to help students get engaged with each other, learn about themselves and each other, and then eventually get to the point where they're equally as concerned about themselves and others in the success of our community. And so we do this through a number of ways, both programming, and this year that will be virtually, and also through one-to-one conversations with our resident assistants, who are the peer leaders of each community. On each floor, our community directors, the professional staff that live in the halls to support your students, and then administratively as well in some of our trainings and programs and practices. In addition to the living environment that we provide, we also manage parcel services for campus and work really closely with LUPD and transportation services. So happy to answer any questions today and really glad to be here with you.
Hi, my name is Andrea Rodriguez. I'm the director of the Office for Accessible Education at Loyola. What our office does is it assists students with classroom, housing, and dining accommodations. If you need those accommodations, you can email oae@loyno.edu. And we are here to help. We also focus on diversity and inclusion. We discuss different types of disabilities with students, and we talk about what accommodation might help you with your diagnosis. So that's just some of the things that we do. We provide extended time for testing for students who are eligible, and we also can help you navigate the dining hall if you have a gluten intolerance or an allergy. We also focus on testing. We provide testing space for students who need a reduced distraction environment. Most of our tests will be online in the fall, but if there is a student that needs that as an accommodation, that's something that we can do. We also work very closely with our faculty to make sure that accommodations are granted in classes. If your student is returning and they've received accommodations in the past, you would definitely want to reach out to us and make sure that everything is going to move forward. We have an electronic accommodation system where students can log in and send their accommodation letters electronically to faculty each semester. So I'm looking forward to working with you. Thank you.
Hi, everybody. My name's Asia Wong. I am a licensed clinical social worker, and I am the director of the University Counseling Center and Student Health Services. Normally at this point, I just say, it's my team's job to help your students stay happy, healthy, and well. What that means this year is that we have been very, very busy. As your parents of returning students, most of you should know we never closed our doors the entire time. So we moved all counseling to remote sessions. We've been seeing your students throughout the summer, throughout spring, and student health services stayed open even when the res halls were emptied. We were open for commuter students. And I'm just here to answer your questions and be a partner in keeping your students, again, happy, healthy, and well.
Hello, everyone. My name is Brett Simpson. I'm the athletic director here. I'm excited to be with you all tonight. Thanks for coming. I oversee athletics as well as the university sports complex, and we are doing these sessions for each one of our individual teams and with our student athletes and their parents. So I'm going to focus more on the sports complex this evening. Just want you to know that we've partnered with Ochsner, as Dr. Bork alluded to really help us open the building. And just a few things to kind of highlight that we've done. And again, like Asia said, we're all here to happy to answer any questions. But knowing that our capacity issues, we've spread out our cardio machines and our weight room and pool. We're expecting to limit the capacity in those areas specifically. I want you to encourage you to have your students bring some equipment with them. Us passing out equipment like basketballs and yoga mats and things like that is probably not the best of situations. So if your students can bring some equipment with them, that would be great on our end. Obviously, we have increased our cleaning frequency. And I think that's about it I had to cover today. I got lost on my list here. So if I miss anything, please feel free to answer any questions. Thanks.
Hello, everyone. So nice to be here with y'all today. My name is Dr. Dale ONeill. I serve as the Director of Student Life and Ministry here at Loyola. Our office oversees all basically activity outside the classroom. So if your student wants to get involved with one of our 130 different student organizations, if your student is a commuter student, we provide commuter services. We oversee worship, CLCs, retreats, anything basically outside the classroom we can help your student with. We also oversee the Dana Student Center, which will be open 7 a.m. to 2 a.m. every day. In addition, if your student is a commuter student and is looking for a space to be in between classes, the Dana Center will be open and there will be spaces for your student to do classes or socially distance mingle with their friends. Happy to answer any questions. Looking forward to chatting with y'all and getting to see your students in the fall.
Thanks, Dr. ONeill. Hi, everybody. I'm Dr. Ward. I'm the Chief Student Conduct Officer and the Title IX Coordinator here at Loyola University. This year, we have added a COVID-19 addendum to our Student Code of Conduct. I encourage all parents and students to check this out. If you go from our homepage, loyola.edu, and look at that search bar, type in Student Conduct. That's going to take you to my homepage. And about halfway down the page, you're going to see an icon for the Student Handbook. Click on that icon, and that'll take you to all of the sections of the Student Code of Conduct. The section you are looking for is Section 10. That's where you're going to be able to see all of our new policies that are designed to help keep faculty, staff, and students safe. I'm just going to mention a couple key ones here, but do want to encourage everyone to ask questions. One thing that we will be enforcing is that we are asking all students to maintain 6 feet of distance from them and others, as well as faculty and staff, whether they're inside or outside, with the exception of their personal residence hall. And then we want everybody to wear a mask. So you'll have a really cool Loyola branded one that you'll get, but we would also encourage everyone to bring about a week's worth, so you don't have to do laundry every single day. But we will ask students to wear that mask inside and outside, except when they're in their personal residence hall. There's some additional policies that are specific to student organizations that I won't go into heavily right now, but again, do encourage all students and parents to take a look. And if you have any questions, please do ask them tonight. You'll also notice that there's going to be some updates to our Title IX policy. Our new Title IX policy will go on the website this Friday. So if you take a look at our website right now, you're going to see our old policy. I encourage you to take a look on Friday where you'll see the brand new one that's going to meet the new guidelines that have come out. What I want to assure all students is that we are going to keep a preponderance of the evidence standard, which just means is it more likely than not, which we think is best for our victims and our survivors. So we are going to keep doing very similar to what we were doing last year. We're just going to add a couple extra steps to ensure that all students have all of the due process that they are entitled to through Title IX. So again, if you have any questions or concerns about it, please do ask tonight, or also feel free to email me at dmward@loyola.edu. Last but not least, the last thing I want to plug is that we do have our BIT form, our Behavioral Intervention Team form. This is a place where you can submit if you know of any student who is having any kind of concern on campus. You know, maybe they are experiencing flu-like symptoms, maybe they've lost a grandparent, maybe they're in need of something. So for example, with many of us working remotely right now, a lot of students are in need of laptops or computers, and we want to make sure that we meet those needs. So if you, another student, your student, if you're a parent, is in need of something, please check out our BIT form. Just type in BIT to our home site. It'll take you right to the reporting form. You can let us know what the need is, and we will connect with the student. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Phoebe Cook. I'm the Area Operations Manager for Sodexo Dining Services, and we provide food service for the guests, students, faculty, and staff over at Loyola. Just want to share with you some commitments that we've made. Sodexo has been on site at Loyola since day one. We haven't left. We fed students on campus through June. A few students, and then we have been preparing all of our food service locations to get ready for the fall semester. So I just wanted to share with you some of the commitments that we have moving forward when you return to campus. So first and foremost, safety of our guests and you all and our faculty and staff is top priority. We have 6 pillars or enhancements that we've made to our program that I'll share with you. First of all of our staff will be wearing masks. Masks are mandatory. Inside of our dining room operations, we're going to ask that everybody wear a mask until they actually sit inside the OR. We will have limited seating inside the Orleans room and the Broadway Activity Center. We have social distance all of those areas. as well as social distance all of our retail food service establishments as well. We have enhanced protection, additional cleaning, disinfecting, and sanitizing going on in all of our locations, and have added layers of staff in addition to the environmental services team on campus, WFF. So we're partnering just to make sure that we get all of those high touch areas as well. We do have increased hand washing. We have our employees that come into our operation every single day. We'll be going through daily health monitoring and daily health checks, where we will ask them to answer a series of questions like, temperature checks and things like that. So we're priding ourselves on that. And lastly, we have greatly increased our mobile ordering on campus. We have added 3 more locations in addition to the Grubhub locations from our, Starbucks and Subway and whatnot. We have also added a mobile ordering component to the Orleans room, the Broadway Activity Center, and the market. We're sending out and communicating a lot of those how to sign up and get your student ID card activated through Grubhub. We will be taking meal swipes or weekly meals. You will be able to use those in and out of the Broadway Activity Center and the Orleans room. So we're very excited about this enhanced dining program that we have that will allow for mobile ordering continuously from Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. until 8 p.m. and then on the weekends from 11:30 until 8 p.m. as well. So you will be able to mobile order through those websites. I'm trying to think. One big change for all of you and for all of our students is that we will not have cross-campus dining with Tulane this semester. That has led us to increase some of our continuous hours of operations inside of the OR and the BAC to help kind of offset not being able to cross-campus dine. It is in the best interest of our faculty, staff, and students that we have suspended this. We have not eliminated it. We've only suspended it. And we do look forward to bringing that back at some point in time. But we look forward to having you all. We open on August the 17th is our first day of full dining. And we will be open all the way through the fall semester until we break for right before Thanksgiving. If you have any questions, I'm more than happy to answer those for you. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for the information. Currently, our bookstore manager is having a bit of technical difficulties, but I did want to remind parents to check emails regarding ordering textbooks, because we're going to have a mostly contactless bookstore order and pick up process. So I encourage you to visit our bookstore website for a little bit more information, and if he's able to join us, he'll share a little bit more about that. So we're going to go ahead and start answering some questions for you all. Our first set of questions has to do with testing and some of the decision behind not testing as students are moving to campus. Asia, would you be able to give a bit of information about that process, please?
Sure. So whoever has asked this question is absolutely correct that testing all our students and then quarantining them all would allow us to capture whoever was positive right at the moment that they came to campus, and then put them in a separate space. That is 100% accurate. The issue with this is what happens after that first moment. So number one, when you think about your first experience of coming to college, getting that test in that moment, and then being quarantined for the time it takes to get those test results, as opposed to participating in the reasons why you've come to school. You've just met all these new people and you're told to stay away from them. When we evaluated it, it felt to our leadership that it would create a false sense of security, and that literally within days, the information that you got in that first moment would no longer be relevant or accurate.
Thank you, Asia. Our next question revolves around the COVID dashboard. My understanding is that there will be a COVID dashboard on the Loyola website, correct? That will keep us updated on the number of positive cases. Will this be updated daily or less frequently? I believe that it will be less frequently than that. Asia, did you have more information to share there?
Certainly, I can say internally we are updating it daily. I'm
Correct.
not sure about the external facing piece.
We'll have to follow up with our marketing team regarding that piece. Will there be voluntary testing available for non-symptomatic students?
Sure. So we are currently planning to only test symptomatic students. However, we will have a referral list of where they can get testing if they are asymptomatic and they want to be tested. And all our athletes are being tested prior to return to campus.
Next question, what will move-in day look like? Are we allowed to help our child move in and set up the room? The answer is yes, you are allowed. Amy, did you want to share a little bit more information about that?
Sure. Parents and family members are allowed, but we are limiting each student to 2 helpers. Anything beyond 2 helpers will not be able to enter the residence hall. So if, for instance, you have more than that in your family that will be coming to campus, they would have to wait in the car in a common area outside of the residence hall, which is pretty hot. And so we really encourage you, if you can, to only bring 2 helpers. You could switch in and out. For example, if you brought another family member, only 2 could go into the residence hall at a time. And they'll be able to visit throughout the day as you're helping with move-in. After your move-in day has passed, we ask that you do not return to the residence hall so that we can keep density down.
Thank you, Amy. The next question is regards to work on campus. How long after a student is on campus will they find out about work? Usually within the first week or 2, students will be made aware of their placement on campus. And so I don't anticipate that that would be different. Is it too late to schedule a time for den drop this week? I'm not sure.
I'm looking into that right now.
Great, thank you. If students signed up for the 15 meal per week dining plan, but after a couple of weeks want to switch to less meals, can they do that and get a refund?
So students can change their meal plan up to 1 time in the first 2 weeks of class. So the second Friday of class, which I'll give you that exact date, is September 4th. And the bill is adjusted to reflect the change. So you're not charged more or less, you're charged, your bill would be adjusted so that you're not penalized for changing your meal.
Why the return so early, January 3rd? Just curious. There's going to be some opportunity for students to be able to take a credit course without having to pay for that course. And so in order for those students to come back to us early, that was the reason for the return. I heard the only way to bring your food outside is if you do mobile ordering. What if you want to eat inside, but no room left? I'm assuming that this is in regards to the Orleans room. Yes, we have extra seating outdoors, and we also have sticky spaces in our Dana Student Center for students to bring their food to eat. Does Grubhub require the kids to tip? I am not sure about that. Phoebe, no, it does not require. Will the students be able to use the dining plan at Tulane at this time? No, the cross-campus dining has been suspended in order to help to mitigate spread. Will there be a surcharge for the mobile orders? Phoebe, are you aware of that? A surcharge? No, okay. Oh, go ahead, Phoebe.
I'm sorry, can you hear me now?
Yes. Okay.
So for the retail locations, there is a service charge for the retail locations. There always has been. But for the Orleans room and the BAC for using your meal swipe, there is no charge.
Great, thank you. One other thing, Phoebe, before you go back on mute, will mobile ordering for the Orleans room be through Grubhub?
Yes, it's all through
Great.
Grubhub.
Great. How will it be determined during the pandemic whether Loyola goes online 100%? For example, will it be a certain number of people who are positive with COVID? Yes, we have a dashboard that's internally facing of several sets of data points that we're going to be using in conjunction with consultation with our healthcare partners, with our city partners, so that we can make an appropriate decision based on spread and risk to student, staff, and faculty safety. Are both students in a shared room allowed to have a mini fridge, or is there a limit of 1 mini fridge per room?
There's a limit of 1 mini fridge per room. We've had instances where students accidentally order 2, and we'll work with you on that. Really, the main thing that is not allowed is a microwave. So you can have a mini fridge microwave combination that has 1 plug. So if you're looking at units outside of our rental company, want to purchase your own unit, you need to look for one that has a safety 1 plug is the language you'll want to look at. Micro fridges, micro chillers, that's some of the common words that you'll hear.
Amy, one other thing with regard to residence halls, are the students responsible for supplying toilet paper and paper towels in Buddig?
No, there are no paper towel dispensers within bathrooms in Buddig. In the suite bathrooms, there are, of course, in community bathrooms, and toilet paper will be provided for you. So if you want to supply your student with rolls of, household paper towels, that's a good idea so that they can use those for cleaning.
Thank you. Dale, this is going to be a bit of an engagement question for you. What opportunities are available for students who are doing all classes online to be a part of the Loyola community?
Sure. So a part of our student code of conduct, we have said that when a student organization holds an event on ground, it is highly, highly, highly recommended that they provide some sort of virtual option, even if that is simply live streaming the event. So the majority of student organizations should be having some sort of virtual engagement piece when they're hosting events. I can tell you from our office, every functional area of our office is going to be providing virtual opportunities. We'll be doing at least 2 programs a week that are fully virtual. Anything from esports to trivia to one of our Christian life communities is all going to be virtual. So we're not forgetting about our virtual students. We'll definitely have lots of opportunities for them to get involved.
Great, thank you. Let's see. Yes, rooming assignments can still change. There's a question about that. It's because we're still trying to identify quarantine rooms, COVID positive isolation rooms. And so as assignments are shifting, some students are deciding to go 100% virtual, so rooms are opening up. And so we're managing room assignments and trying to make those places where we'll quarantine students or isolate students in specific places. So yes, those could still change. Will commuter students be required to have the $250 Wolfux plan, even if they have all online classes? Can they opt out?
If a commuter student has all online classes, they will not be charged the plan. So in other words, the indicator for a meal plan is having on-ground classes or living on campus.
Thank you, Amy. Also a shuttle for the Adler Hotel.
So we're currently working on an updated shuttle plan, as many of you are aware, with our agreement with Tulane that we wouldn't be sharing services this fall. Loyola is standing up a shuttle service as we speak. And so our police department, campus safety department is organizing that now. The Alder will be on that route. It just will not have a dedicated to and from only, Alder all day. It will be part of a loop. So that schedule is forthcoming, but there will be some limited transportation between the Alder and campus.
Will the Dana Center and classrooms be cleaned more than once a day? Yes, there's going to be electrostatic cleaning that's going to be happening, as well as the internal cleaning of the high-touch surfaces in the rooms. In addition to that, there are going to be disinfecting carts in each floor of each building, so that students and faculty and staff have access to cleaning supplies to also clean as they go. So yes, we'll have all of those cleaning processes in place. Let's see. There's a note that the question about mini fridge was missed, but I think we answered that already about the 1 mini fridge per room. Amy, correct? Can you just say the number again in case they missed?
Yes, so we ask that you have only 1 mini fridge per room. And I just indicated that if you accidentally order a second mini fridge, like both roommates have ordered them, we'll work with you on that. But the main piece to pay attention to is that you can't have a microwave separate from a mini fridge. They have to be all in one unit. That's the only thing that we'll absolutely not allow.
Thank you, Amy. Phoebe, there's a note here that there is a rumor that there will be food trucks on campus available to Loyola and Tulane students. Can you answer that one, please?
That is not to my knowledge. Tulane does have food trucks available, but they will be utilizing them as part of their dining program. But they will not be accepting Loyola meal swipes or Wolf Bucks at those locations.
Thank you, Phoebe. Asked to talk about students who are in the music industry program and are doing studio classes and piano classes, how that will work COVID protection wise. I don't have an answer for that. However, I would encourage you to reach out to your student's advisor and or the dean's office, and they will absolutely be able to tell you what their processes are for their specific department and classes. Are we able to bring 2 cars on move-in day? And is there a chance that Loyola will have a contract with a water delivery service for students in res hall rooms such as Kentwood or Music Mountain? Amy, do you want to take that one?
Sure, you can bring 2 cars to move-in day. And I'm waiting for clarification on the water issue. Our experience in the past has been that Kentwood will deliver to the residence halls. In this case, they do not want to go on residence halls floors, but that they would deliver to the lobby for a student to come and pick up. And they could use a hand cart from our office, for example. I know some people have been getting conflicting information about that from Kentwood. So I've asked our one of our purchasing managers to look into that. Same with Music Mountain. So I might be able to get that by the end of this meeting, but if not, we'll send some information up about that to parents.
Alicia, you're muted.
Thank you, Asia. So the next question is res life related. If you are in a double suite and 1 suite roommate had a cancellation, can 3 live in a double suite?
Yes. there is a possibility that that fourth slot could be filled assignments are adjusted, but three can live in a double suite. I'm assuming this is budding, and that would be the case.
There is a question about tuition increase during a global pandemic. And so I don't have budget information regarding the tuition increase. I would encourage an email or a phone call to the president's office to determine the reason behind the budget increase there. Next question, I'm sorry, but can the meals and obtaining them and how the meal plan works be detailed again? Amy and Phoebe, do you want to take those?
Can I? Yeah, I get. Yeah, I'll try. So meal plans are comprised of a couple of different components. So most of them have weekly meals, or what our students know as meal swipes. So certain number of meals per week. So those start on a Sunday and they expire. They start on a Monday and expire on a Sunday. So you use them or you lose them. Meal swipes can be used in the Orleans room, the Broadway Activity Center, and then also the two mobile ordering components of those locations. In addition to that, the meal plans also have wolf bucks, and a wolf buck is a dollar for dollar equivalency. So if you go to Starbucks and you spend $5.50, $5.50 will be deducted out of your account. It's like a debit account. Those dollars, you can use them if you run out in the middle of the semester. You can add in $100 increments. The good thing about wolf bucks or using meal plans is there's a nice tax benefit for meal plans. There you save 5% state sales tax when you use meal plans. Hope that helps. If not, feel free to contact me. You can call me at 504-460-0164, or you can email me at phoebe.carriere, CARRIERE @sodexo.com.
Thank you, Phoebe. There's some more questions regarding the work-study fair. How will work-study students be placed and able to fulfill their plans? Those details are still being worked out, and you will be receiving information from both our Career Development Service department, and they oversee Handshake, as well as our Human Resources department regarding work-study placement, the fairs, and those sorts of things. So that information will be forthcoming. What happened to everyone having single rooms for social distancing purposes? So as a result of our need to manage the capacity and number of students who were coming in, we did have to resort to some doubles and suite styles. And so we've worked with those parents and students who are in those types of housing situations. My daughter received an email saying her packages were delivered to Beaver, then another about them getting picked up, but it did not specify where. They are supposed to be delivered to Buddig. Will they be there, Amy?
We will be delivering your packages to wherever your student is assigned. So I'm not sure about the email that you received, but if you forward that to our main office line at reslife@loyola.edu, we can take a look at that. Packages are currently being delivered this week. And so wherever your student is assigned, that is the ultimate location for them to be delivered. Our main package room is Beaver Hall, so that might be why it's confusing, because everything that is coming in from external couriers is the first stop is Beaver Hall.
Has the mask video been released yet? I am not exactly sure about a mask video. Is anyone familiar with that?
I'm not sure, but I will say that part of the COVID training that they do does include a video on appropriately masking and washing their hands appropriately. We're also launching a social media campaign with some of our very popular upperclassmen and alumni to help reinforce some of these behaviors.
Thank you, Asia. Question, my daughter is a freshman and she will be doing the semester online. When should I expect to receive the revised bill? I'm not familiar with your specific financial situation, but I would encourage a call to Student Financial Services to get more information regarding that question. Go ahead, Aisha.
I'm going to break in because I have been texting with our interim public health officer about some of your questions, and I do want to provide, I just got the go that I am allowed to tell y'all that we will have voluntary testing available for that first week. So it will be free. It's being conducted by the National Guard. It will be on campus. We will have, please, please, please encourage your students to sign a release of information so that we will also get the results of that. But yes, so in terms of the options for voluntary testing, especially that first week for asymptomatic students, I have just gotten confirmation that I am allowed to tell you about that. So yeah.
Great, thank you, Asia. Let's see. Will the Monroe Library run on normal times? The Monroe Library hours are still being determined, and so more information will be shared regarding those hours of operation. If there is an evacuation due to a hurricane, how will you handle students in quarantine? Well, that is going to be hopefully parents or family members coming in to take their students home. We should have plenty of time for that to happen. If we have positive students that we do need to transport with us or students in quarantine, we will take social distancing measures and put those in place on the buses that we will have to take with us to Louisiana College. But our hope is that you've completed your hurricane evacuation personal plan, submitted that, and that you would be able to come in to retrieve your student. Will our accounts be credited for unused Wolf Bucks from spring 2020? Yes, that will be happening if you, as long as you're not a graduating senior, that should be happening. The Starbucks on campus is allowed to be open and serve. Yes, that is allowed to be open and serve. We have social distancing markers in place and mobile ordering. So that will be how that is operated. Phoebe, did you have more to share?
Yes, please. So as far as the Starbucks goes, we are highly encouraging mobile ordering at all of the retail locations, especially Starbucks. There is no dine-in seating in our Starbucks or any of our retail locations. So I would say mobile order first, counter service last.
Great, thank you. Next question, is the meal plan a certain number of meals per week? Is the cost adjusted with a shorter semester?
I can answer that. Actually, we moved up several of the meal plan days for our move-in week. So we actually opened 8 days earlier than before. But when we look at it for the year, the same number of board days will be applied for the year. So there aren't any board days that are lost. And depending on the meal plan that you choose, it is a certain number of meals per week. So we have 4 meal plans that are associated with what we call weekly meals. There's 19 meals a week, 15 meals per week, 12, and then 9. So.
Thank you. Amy, will you be checking everyone coming onto campus the day of move-in?
I'm not sure what you mean by checking, but what we will be doing is the the process as it stands is that we'll have really a drive-up move-in process. The location will be at the Ferret Street entrance of campus. Chris Rice will be there to greet you under a canopy tent, where he will give you your check-in packet that will include, if you're a new student, your student ID. For all other students, it will include, including new students, your mask, your building sticker for your ID that says which residence hall you live in, other important handouts that include some good contact information for some of us here on this call today, Wolfpack welcome schedule also if you're a first-year student, and some other information just about move-in day. And then after you receive your move-in packet, you will be directed to an unloading zone where our staff will be awaiting to greet you with your own moving cart, which is a 4x4 large blue bin that will hopefully be able to fit all of your belongings, so you can roll them up within 2 hours to your room. And as you know, we're scheduling in incremental times to prevent bottlenecking and crowding in elevators and in lobbies. So that's the extent of the check. I will remind everybody that masks are required on campus for guests as well. And you will see our staff and volunteers awaiting with masks, and Chris will also have him in a face shield, so I don't want you to be alarmed. It looks a little Darth Vader, but he will be interfacing with the majority of parents on that day and students, and so we want to keep him and y'all safe as well.
Thank you, Amy. Phoebe, there's a clarifying question with regard to retail locations on campus. Since we don't have two-lane cross-campus dining, at least for this semester, can you talk to us about the options that are available on Loyola's campus?
Sure. As far as retail food service locations, so we have Starbucks, Subway, AFC Sushi, we have the Broadway Activity Center, McAllister's Market, Smoothie King, and OBC Grill. Did I say Subway? And Subway. Yeah.
Great, thank you.
Okay.
Next question, if the university is shut down and all students need to return home due to Corona, will they have to completely empty out their residence hall rooms, and will there be a storage service available? Amy, do you want to take this one?
Sure. So yeah, if we think that we need to leave for the semester, we will not require everyone to move their belongings out. If for some reason, which I really don't think this would be the case, we thought we would have to close for the full academic year, not anticipating that at all, then we would give you that direction to move your belongings out. There is a storage service and a shipping service. Our preferred vendor or our approved vendor is University Student Services. They offer all of those options, but there's also local storage companies as well that you're welcome to use. But like I said, if we're leaving for this semester, you do not need to move your belongings out.
Thank you. There's a question here about whether or not Loyola will have medical grade air purifiers, and the answer is no, we will not be providing those on campus. Amy, there's a question about ordering the water that we spoke about earlier. Would you be able to assist?
Yeah, basically the water service, I think there's a couple of options. Bottled water is an option, as well as a water cooler option. So if you can, the 5-gallon jugs that you might see in an office, or some of you might have in your home in a cooler, you can order that to rent. I will get you a link in the chat. And then I'm trying to figure out the answer to that other question about delivery, so you can make a good decision about that.
Thank you, Amy. Let's see. If students have packages that were not picked up from last semester and they are now living off campus, will they be able to pick up their packages from the mailroom?
Yes, after August 24th, what we would like you to do is reach out to the email address that I provided earlier, reslife@loyola.edu, and we can schedule a time for your pickup. We're not doing walk-ins for the package room anymore. For residential students, all packages will be delivered to their space or to their room. And for commuter students that did live on campus and maybe weren't able to get their things at the end of the semester, you can schedule a time for pickup.
Great. Next question, what is the closure plan if there is a surge in cases? So the university is not planning to close. What the university would do is go to 100% virtual operation. And so we would be able to submit information regarding that. So classes would go completely virtual, student engagement would go completely virtual, all of those processes. Let's see. If a student cannot get their ID to link with Grubhub, is there a way for them to fix this? Who can they go to? Yes, if a student needs an ID, our parking services would be happy to print that for them. Parking services, ID services is located in our LUPD headquarters in Beaver Hall. And so they would just report directly to parking services to get an ID there. With most
Alicia,
students,
sorry, I think the question was about linking. If they're having trouble linking the ID that they have to Grubhub, information technology can assist with that. So you can email them at helpdesk, HELPDESK @loyola.edu.
What is the first official day, Amy, that meal plans will be turned on and activated? That might be the reason that Grubhub is not linking to student meal plans. So because it links directly through the student card services office.
Okay, so the 17th, yeah.
Okay. The 17th, August 17th should be your start date of meal plans. That may be why they're not linking to Grubhub.
and if your student continues to have issues, then information technology would be the best place to go there. And then Phoebe, also with most students potentially eating lunch and dinner around the same time on campus, can you talk about managing social distancing and stanchions and directional signage?
Sure. So there'll be some videos that go out later this week in regards to kind of navigating the traffic flows of the entrances and exits. So for instance, going into the Orleans dining room, there are two entrances. There is a dine-in entrance and then there's a mobile order pickup. And so we have kind of navigated the dining locations kind of like the street, in terms of this is a direction you go for entering, and then there's directions for exiting, so that people don't particularly cross paths, and so that we maintain that social distancing when standing in line and whatnot. So like when you go into the Starbucks lounge area where a lot of our students used to congregate, there are no more seats there. So we actually have queuing lines, one particular for the OR and the other one for Starbucks. And then as far as social distancing, we social distance all of our tables. We have plexiglass on some of our larger tables where you might have pod seating for those students who maybe kind of live in the same community and can dine together, or maybe roommates. We will have max occupancies or capacities inside the Orleans room that we will be monitoring. And for instance, in the retail food service food court, where you have the Subway and the Smoothie King and the market, all of the mobile order pickup locations. So if you mobile order your lunch or dinner, you won't be going into the food court to do it. You actually will pick it up at the Carrollton Lounge right on the backside of Carrollton Hall. And we did that specifically to help navigate the traffic and to reduce the density from in one area or another. So there's been a lot of thought through social distancing and moving people about. That was one of the main reasons for increasing or having continuous mobile ordering. So we know that typically, for instance, on Tuesdays and Thursdays, we'd have a lot of students eat during the window, the 12:30 to 2 o'clock range. Well, we know that the window, we will not have that long break on Tuesdays and Thursdays, but extending those hours for mobile ordering from a continuous dining standpoint, there will always be hot food available from 7 o'clock in the morning until 8 o'clock at night. So although all stations might not be open between 2:30 and 5 o'clock before dinner, you will be able to get pizza and the grill and a fresh salad and sandwiches and things like that. It was just to kind of spread out those times when students normally congregate or eat all at one time. I definitely think it will spread out significantly.
Thank you, Phoebe. I have a question about applying for a parking sticker, when that sticker will be received, and when will the charge apply to her student billing. So we no longer have parking stickers. Your license plate is your parking pass. And so we've gone with our Park Mobile app, to assess parking on campus. And so your daughter will not receive a parking sticker, and then the charge will be applied to her student billing. I'm not exactly sure of the date of that application to the bill, but if you want to send an email to Student Financial Services, they would be able to share with you that exact timing. Someone asked that the student has a $250 meal plan for commuter students. So how many meals per week is that, or how does that work? So it's not a meal plan, it's basically dining dollars. So we would call that Wolf Bucks, and they would be able to use that in the Orleans room, at all of the different Loyola dining locations. So it's not a meal plan per se, it's just dining dollars that they're able to use at different locations. Amy, there's a question about the laundry service and how this will work.
Yes, so as always, we have self-serve laundry, which is at no additional charge to you or your student. We also have a program called Laundry View, in which your student can get text reminders when their laundry is completed, or when there's machines that are open, and you can monitor your progress, which is just so exciting, right? And then for those students that want to take advantage of a contactless laundry experience, you can do that with our vendor. Their name is Cleanorama, and I'm going to spell out their website for you and the phone number so that you can contact them if you're interested. But essentially what happens is your student will be provided a bag if you sign up for the service. When your student fills the bag, there will be a bin in each lobby of the residence halls. They drop it in the bin, and on the scheduled service day, Cleanorama will come to our residence halls, pick up the laundry, take it to their facility, wash, dry, and fold, and then return it back to campus. Their website is nolalaundryservices.com, and the phone number is 504-496-7962. I'll also put this in the chat where the question was asked so that you can refer back to it. But we recommend this if it's available to you.
Thank you, Amy. Dale, there's a question about Wolfpack Welcome and the decision to have some students inside during some of the pieces. Can you talk about that balance of social distancing and virtual components of Wolfpack Welcome?
Sure. So throughout Wolfpack Welcome, all students must wear masks and be 6 feet apart. And then all of our programming and meetings are being held in small groups. And those groups are meeting in our largest classrooms on campus to verify that they can socially distance by 6 feet, if not more. So everything we do is following university and city guidelines and CDC recommendations. We will be providing a virtual option for new student convocation. and some social programming in the evening will also be virtual. But 100%, we will be doing everything in small groups. In previous years, Wolfpack Welcome was in the wonderful, huge gym with all 700 students in one big gym. That is not happening this year at all. We've totally revamped the program.
Thank you, Dale. There's a question here about how to get textbooks. And so first of all, I would encourage you to visit our Campus Bookstore website on the Loyola website so that you can get more specific information. But basically, we're going to have touchless delivery of class-related material to students. With our third-party vendor, they're going to ship packages to students' residence hall rooms, apartments, houses, as well as to the bookstore for special pickup. So I would go ahead and check your schedule, check your syllabi, check your Laura account to order your books online, and more information is on the website. So that's all the time that we have for questions this evening. Thank you everyone for your attention, for your very important questions. And if you need to get in touch with any of us over the next day or so or weeks, please feel free to reach out. We're here. We want to help. We don't want you to feel alone through this process. Additionally, this recording will be placed on the Student Affairs website so that you can watch it at another time, and it will have all of our contact information. So from us to you, thank you so much, and take good care and stay healthy. Bye-bye.